I was just being told that I don't have any permission to live stream, so I was wondering if they gave me a strike on YouTube. But anyway, all right, so this seems like it. Shalom, everyone, and welcome on YouTube. Welcome to Just a Word as we prepare for another Shabbat teaching. This is Kazak Aliyahu Yasharal. And please join us, please stay with us rather, as we go through this teaching today. We'll be looking at the second Exodus verses, the beginning of sorrow. Actually, what we are doing today, we are actually comparing our choices, comparing the choices that we have in this end time. Will we flee to the wilderness? And we'll see what that entails in more detail. Or will we stay in Babylon? And we are going to see what that entails in more detail. So it is designed to give us a side-by-side view, a side-by-side choice as to which do we prefer to do. And let me just say that the door of the ark is closing. As we had warned before, we were checking up on some flights for people over there in the Caribbean, and it is extremely difficult to get flights now. Back in our days, it was very easy, 1, 2. Now, it is extremely difficult to get flights. As a matter of fact, one person got a flight. It was about a few days ago, and the flight had to be within a few days. And had they not caught that flight, they would not have another flight like that available until about January. Is it? Yeah, January. Until about January. So you see the hesitation, and we have been warning and telling people move as soon as possible. The Most High does not open the door for long. He does not hold the door open for too long. All right? So the door is still open for people who can travel through visa countries like the United States. Still open, but he's going to close it without a doubt. The ark is only open for a few days. And to confirm this, the Most High gave us another sign again, because we had 2 different people booking from different countries in the Caribbean. And when we ended up looking, they were scheduled to come on the same date. And when we said, let's look, when you look, they were on the same flight. And guess what? It's a family of 5 and a family of 3. 5 plus 3 equals 8. How many people were on the ark? There were 8 people on the ark. All right, so the Most High is telling us. Plus, one of the brothers who is coming through, he gave us a dream about 2 months ago about when he comes through, it's gonna be extremely difficult for others who are coming after him. So said, so done. So please, people, if you intend to move ASAP. The Most High will not leave the door open forever. So today, when we look at the second Exodus today and the wilderness, it's going to be kind of like a revision, because we have to lay a foundation. So there'll be things that we have heard before, but the Most High might take us in more depths into it so we get more understanding. So if you hear things that you've heard before, don't worry. More depths are going to be coming as well. You're going to hear the same thing, but there are going to be more depths to it as well. So let's introduce the second Exodus. All right. Many people, especially from the Christian line of thinking, did not know about the second Exodus, that the Most High had promised another Exodus, just as he had the Exodus coming out of physical Egypt. There's another one for us coming out of Egypt that was prophesied, and it was prophesied in the book of Ezekiel, or what they call Ezekiel chapter 20, starting at verse 33 to verse 38. And let's go, please, just to lay the foundation as to the second Exodus. Read, please, Ak.
As I live, saith Yahuwah Allah, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out.
All right, Ak. The background is very noisy. So, wanna let George read and you comment?
All right.
Yeah, so you comment when at the opportune time, whenever you feel like. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Start from verse 33.
As I live, says Yahuwah Elohah, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Mitzrayim. So will I plead with you, says Yahuwah Elohah. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharal, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
All right, so here's the process now, 33. Yahuwah swore in verse 33 that as he lives, surely with a mighty hand and with stretched out arm and with fury poured out will he rule over us. He will bring us from among the people and where we are gathered, and he will gather us out of the countries where we are scattered. And he will bring us into the wilderness of the people. And there will he plead with us face to face. Unless we think it is a different thing from Mitzrayim, he says, like as I pleaded with their fathers in the wilderness of the land of Mitzrayim, so will I plead with you, saith Yahuwah Elohah. And then he tells us that he will cause us to pass under the rod and bring us into the bond of the covenant. Pass under the rod means we are not going to have it all like lying in bed, snoozing away, nice, comfortable life, living like a millionaire. Oh, that's not going to be it. And I will purge out from among you the rebels. Very important. Because someone that asked me earlier made a comment trying to allude to it that I was in total error, because we said that he said that we have to be accounted worthy to escape. And then he says you're accounted worthy to escape and you're still not going to enter the land. That doesn't add up. Of course, that is very, very simple. It is he that endureth to the end shall be saved. That is the principle of the Most High. He extends his arm, but it is up to you to endure. So, but as a result of the pleading, he will purge out the rebels. Rebels are those who rebel against the word. And those that transgress, those that sin against him, he will, of course, bring them out of the land where they sojourn, which means they will come in the wilderness. But if they are rebellious and if they continue to transgress against him, they will not enter into the land of Yasharal. And that is how you're going to know that he is Yahuwah. All right? So verse 42 to 44 are also very interesting. Read, please.
And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I shall bring you into the land of Yasharal, into the country for the which I lifted up my hand to give it to your fathers.
All right, again, the promise here is for Yasharal. This is now we have some ongoing videos on Just a Word, trying to let people know that there's a physical promise. They are trying to use the promise to where Apostle Shaul interpreted it and said, then are you Abraham's seed? They are using that to negate all of the promises to physical Yasharal. Let me just say, most people don't understand that what Shaul was speaking about. He's saying that every one of us have to come spiritual, whether you are an Israelite or not. It was not saying that all the promises to physical Israel will be negated. It is just saying that to be of the seed of Abraham, you have to be through emunah, through faith. It is not just by your doing the works of the law. All right? And verse 43.
And there shall you remember your ways and all your doings, wherein ye have been defiled, and ye shall loathe yourselves in your sight for all your evils that ye have committed.
So during the wilderness, when he brings us into the land, we are going to remember all the evil things that we did and all how we defiled ourselves. And we are going to despise ourselves for all that we have done. Verse 44.
And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doings, O ye house of Yasharel, says Yahuwah Eluah.
All right, so that is the promise for us to go into the wilderness. But the wilderness, it is not the Most High is not going to force us to go into the wilderness. We have to be accounted worthy. He is the one who chooses and decides who comes in the wilderness. And we have to be accounted worthy to be able to go into the wilderness, as we were speaking about after. So if we reject the world, as he said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, if we reject the world and seek to flee, then we will be deemed entirely deserving to flee. And we go to our favorite verse that you must know by heart by this, and you must be tired of seeing it. But Luke 21, 34 to 36, we've seen this every week for the past so many umpteen months. But it is a word, a powerful word. Go ahead, please.
And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares.
All right, as we say, we are laying a foundation. So these things you'll see being repeated, just laying the foundation here. And for us to not go into the wilderness, for us to not qualify, if we are caught up with surfeiting, that is with greed of this world, seeking to attain the things of this world that we don't even need, and drunkenness being caught up in the cares of this world and the madness and the deceptions of this world, and cares of this life, the cares of this current life, the things that we need to maintain ourselves in Babylon and the people of Babylon, including even our family, the cares of this life. Then the day will come upon us unawares, because when we come hear the call, like we have been giving from just a word, and we say, flee out of the midst of Babylon, then because of all these concerns that we have, we'll be putting it off, as many of us have done, putting it off and putting it off until when you look, the day comes upon you unawares. And as we have said earlier, that is what is happening with the flights nowadays. It seems that the door is closing. And Luke 21:35 says,
For as a snare shall it come on them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
no, not on them, on all them.
On all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
All them means everyone that dwell upon the face of the earth. It's going to come like a snare, like a trap. It is going to be a surprise that is going to be sprung upon us. All right? It's going to come suddenly upon us. So if you are caught up with all the things of this life that concerns you, then you will be caught unawares. Verse 36.
Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Of course, and that's what we have looked at several times before, that worthy to escape, there, worthy means to deem entirely deserving, and escape there means to flee or to flee out. So to be accounted worthy to escape means to be deemed entirely deserving to flee out. So to flee, you have to be deemed entirely deserving to flee. And that is why we know many people are there stuck and cannot move and have all sorts of excuses and all sorts of things because they have not been deemed worthy to escape. Why? Because they are caught up in surfeiting, in drunkenness, and in the cares of this life. All right? Laying the foundation here in Revelation 3:8 and 3:10. Read, please.
I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name.
So who is he speaking with here? He's speaking to the assembly in Philadelphia, the only assembly that he did not chastise for something, the perfect assembly. This is to tell us something, that those who are to escape have to be those who are striving after perfection. Yeah? So they have a little strength, and they have kept his word. See? And they have not denied his name. And they have a little strength. That means they have a little emunah, because to flee requires emunah. It requires emunah to give up on your life in this world and to pack up and to be willing to start off not knowing what's going to happen to you, what you're going to do, where you're going to go, why, where, why, how, when, if, but. You don't know any of those things. But you get up and you're willing to do it. It requires a little strength. Verse 9.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
All right, and verse 10.
But thou, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
To try them that dwell upon the earth. So because they have kept the word of his patience, he will keep them from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is the end time, the days of sorrow. They are going to be protected from the great tribulation in the days of sorrow. So as we said, you have to be deemed entirely deserving to flee. All right? So when this happens, when we now have been deemed entirely deserving to flee, then he will hide us from the wrath of man. Let's go. Tehillim 27, 1 to 6. Tehillim 27, 1 to 6. Read, please.
A psalm of David. Yahuwah is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahuwah is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of Yahuwah, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahuwah and to inquire in his temple. For in time of trouble, For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock.
Okay, so this is what happens. This is what happens, and we're going to look at the meaning of these words to go deeper into this. So this is what happens now when we are deemed entirely worthy to escape. In the time of trouble, in the great tribulation, he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. Let's go and look. No, let's finish this. Verse 6.
And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises unto Yahuwah.
All right. And further on, we are going to look at the desert. When in the wilderness, it says, the desert shall rejoice like a rose, shall blossom like a rose, and there will be rejoicing. So now shall mine head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer. So in the time of trouble, he will protect us and lift up our head above that of our enemies. So let's look at the meaning of pavilion. And we're going to look at three words: pavilion, secret, and tabernacle. So let's go. All right. So the meaning of pavilion: he will hide me in his pavilion, is a hut as of entwined boughs, also a lair, covert, den, pavilion, tabernacle. So it speaks of a covering from which we get protection. But we look again at the meaning of the word secret. Let's go to the word. In the secret of his tabernacle. In the secret. That secret there is a very powerful word, because it is from the Hebrew word seder, which means a cover in a good or a bad or literal or figurative sense, but biting, covering, disguise, hiding place, privily, protection, secretly, secret place. Secret place. Does that ring a bell? Huh? Secret place. There is a place. The Most High is going to bring us. We're going to look at the place. The true Psalm 91 protection. We're going to see the true Psalm 91 protection. The secret place. So let's go back to it again. He shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle. In the secret place shall he hide me. These are those who are counted worthy to escape. The wilderness people will be hidden, will get the Psalm 91 protection. So when we were, earlier when we were talking about fleeing from Babylon, people were saying, using the Psalm 91 protection to say, they don't have to flee. They have the Psalm 91 protection. But the Psalm 91 protection, as we see, is for those who are obedient to him. What am I doing here? What happened here? Yeah, it is for those who are obedient to him. So the tabernacle now refers to a tent, covering, dwelling place, home. So the tabernacle is a tent. So in other words, he's going to hide us in his pavilion, which is a place of protection, in his secret place, and cover us under a tent. That is referring to protection. So let's look at how he will execute it according to the end time manifestation of Psalm 27. Revelation 12:14. Could you read, please?
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
All right, so the first thing you see there, into her place. Remember we were talking about the secret place? One place, it is singular. Her place. It is a singular place that is set apart. Secret place, not secret places. And that verse is very powerful, because in Revelation 12:14, it tells you about to the woman. And if you see the asterisk there, all of these are keywords. The woman there refers to the woman in the book of Genesis 3:15. And let me go to it. Let's go to it there. Genesis 3:15. Wow. Read, please.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Enmity between thee, the serpent, and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. And this is given in Revelation 12, that speaks about the woman's that speaks about Satan, the serpent. As soon as he came down, he went to war with the woman, and he went to war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Allah and the emanah of Yahusha. That woman is Yasharal. And her seed are those who keep the commandments. Her seeds is the children of Yasharal. Right? Most people thought that her seed was Yahusha. It's not Yahusha. It is the children of Yasharal. And Satan will fight against them in the end time. All right? So, where was I? Yeah. So we see the woman here, and then the two wings of a great eagle. Now, Al Shaddai had pointed this out to me, and I said, wow, it was right there before us, and we didn't even notice it. Now, back in those days, when these people were seeing these visions, they did not know what they were seeing. So if they saw an airplane, they would have to use the best and most appropriate language that they have to show the similitude of what they saw. So when they say two wings of a great eagle, I forgot to put asterisk beside the word great, because great there means big. Let me go and show the meaning of these on. Let me go. Is that Revelation 12:14? These words are very revealing when you get the meaning of them. Revelation 12:14. Let me get this, and let me get this. Revelation 12:14. All right. Two wings of a great. The word great there. Oh, it's not. It's on screen. Oh, let me get it up. I forgot that I should have actually put it bigger. Yeah. So the word great there is from the Greek word megas, which means big in a very wide application, exceedingly great. So what they saw exceedingly great wings of a great eagle. Eagle there is from aitos, which means an eagle from its wind-like flight. So this eagle that they saw, Isaiah saw the same eagle again in the book of Isaiah 60. Let's put it here. In the book of Isaiah 60, verse 8, at the top right.
Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows?
All right, so Isaiah saw, he said, who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? That's an airplane that he saw flying as the cloud. So he could only use the language that he knew at the time. And as the doves to their windows, as the dove alight to their windows, so they are flying. So people going into the wilderness will be flying. Now here's the interesting verse now. Verse 9, read please.
Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahuwah thy Eluah, and to the Kadesh one of Yasharal, because he has glorified thee.
All right, so hear this. It says, I shall wait for me and the ships of Tarshish first. Now in the previous verse, he spoke about flying as a cloud. So many people attribute this and say, we are going on ships. Fair enough. I hope they are right. Because if they are wrong, you got to look at it that an airplane, they could be calling the airplane a ship because they spoke about flying and then they spoke about ship. They could be thinking of an airplane as something that is carrying people, like a ship at the time carried people. So what if this ship is referring to the airplanes? Then people would be there waiting for ships and waiting in vain. But as I said, I hope they are right, because I would really love, after everything, there's still a hope and chance for people. Trust me on that. This is one time I really hope that they are right. But those of us with the time, I'm saying this for those of us who have the time. Oh, who's that? Yes?
Yes, yeah. Remember back then? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Remember back then, there were no planes, there were ships, and ships would take you from place to place. They would dock, and then you would go about your business. Today, ships are not for that. Ships are for recreational purpose. Ships are just for traveling from this place to that place as a cruise.
Yes.
The only ship that is taking you from one place to the next place and staying is airplanes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But and there's a very George has given me a very important precept here. It is so powerful. Let's look at it. The book of Isaiah 11:14. I'm telling people you have to keep examining these things. That's why you see we keep laboring on this thing. And you might look and say we are on one topic. No, when you're on one topic, the Most High keeps giving you more and more insight, poco a poco, little by little. Let's look at Isaiah 11:14 in the Brenton translation. So we were talking about ships, right? And we were talking about flying. All right. Brenton translation. Read, please.
And they shall fly in the ships of the Philistines.
Stop. They shall what?
They shall fly in the ships of the Philistines.
Hold on there. You see the problem we have now? Most of the world is there sitting and waiting on ships. It says they shall fly in the ships. We have a problem. They shall continue.
They shall at the same time spoil the sea.
Hold on there. And we know sea in scripture refers to people. People scattered all over the world. That is why it says in Revelation 13 verse 1, I saw a beast come up out of the sea. It's out of the different nations all over the world. Continue.
And them that come from the east, and Idumea, and they shall lay their hands on Moab first, but the children of Ammon shall first obey them.
All right, so there is a precept there, people. Flying in the ships of the Philistines. So when we go back now to where is it? Isaiah 60 verse 8 to 9, when it says, who are those that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows, referring to an aeroplane. And when it says in 9, surely the eyes shall wait for me and the ships of Tarshish first, it is not far-fetched to think that these ships that they are referring to are the aeroplanes. Okay? Right. So, what else were we looking at? Eremos. That is, yeah. So, they were given 2 wings of a great eagle that they might fly where? Into the wilderness. Now, what does the wilderness mean? G2048 that you see right here beside me. Eremos, of uncertain affinity, lonesome, that is by implication waste, usually as a noun, desert, desolate, solitary, wilderness. So, people who are thinking about going in the wilderness, you have to prepare yourself for the desert. Because there is nothing new under the sun. Go to the right, Deuteronomy 32:9. What he has done before, he's going to do again. The first time, the first Exodus, he brought us into the wilderness, into the desert, because verse 9 says,
For Yahuwah's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Where did he find him? Verse 10.
He found him in a desert land and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye.
It's the same thing he's going to do again. It is the desert that his people are going to go in. The secret place is in the desert, in the waste and howling wilderness. And the reason that has to be so, that is the only place he can set us apart, so that he can lead us about, he can instruct us, and he can keep us as the apple of his eyes, away from all the danger, from the face of Satan, as it says, from the face of the serpent. So another thing we're going to look at here is her place, because remember we said it's a secret place that he is going to take us. So get ready for the desert. The desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. So what we are doing, we've used all of these scriptures before, I think, but we're just getting it into perspective so we can see it and know and understand what is happening or what we have to come up. There is no ambiguity about what is going to happen. Nothing catches us by surprise, and we can know what to speak to people about. All right? The desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. He will make a new thing in the desert. Isaiah 43:18-21.
Remember ye not the former...
Hold on, please. Hold on, please. 18-21. All right. I got to get this thing set up before we go. All right. Let me see. All right. Your time now, George.
Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing.
Hold on. Sorry. I didn't change it. My bad. Start again, please.
43 verse 18. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
All right. So rivers in the desert, of course, refer to physical rivers as well as the Ruach leading us through the desert. Continue.
The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen.
Verse 21.
This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise.
He has formed these people for himself. These are the children of Yasharal. And people, people just, I don't know. This is what they are trying to do. Take away the children of Yasharal from the equation. So, Apostle Shaul says, neither Jew nor Greek, neither Jew nor Gentile. And then they said, okay, that wipes out Yasharal. All of these promises have not yet been fulfilled. What are you going to tell me? It's not going to be fulfilled. Neither Jew nor Gentile. So he's no longer going to honor his people. He says he has formed these people for himself, the children of Yasharal. These are the people who are going to the wilderness. And those people there, they're not preaching. Most of them, they're not preaching the second Exodus. They're not speaking about any wilderness or anything. Because if you speak about the wilderness, you have to now know that it's the children of Yashua. That's why most don't speak about it. Yeah? If you speak about wilderness and desert, who is that? It's the children of Israel. That would mean now that you would have to now focus the teaching on it's being about Israel, and nobody wants to do that because everyone is, most of those religions and beliefs, including followers of the way, follow replacement theology that is wiping out the children of Yashua. Don't speak about them. Don't mention anything about them. But it says, this speaks of provision to give drink to my people, my chosen. Why we're doing this? We are matching up what is going to happen. We're going to show first what's going to happen in the wilderness, and we're going to show what is going to happen in Babylon in the days of sorrow. So here we have provision. The wilderness is going to look daunting. It's going to be waste. It's going to be dry. There are going to be wild animals. But the Most High is telling you that, hey, all of that, don't worry about that. I am going to take care of that. You'll be good. Yeah? I'm going to provide water to give you a drink. The beasts, they are going to honor me, which means they're not going to bother you. They're not going to trouble. They're not going to be able to touch you. That's the difference with the world. Now, in the days of sorrow, yeah? Horror, we're going to see horror that mankind has never, ever seen before in their history. That is what those who are staying in Babylon are staying to partake of. To see all of those horrible things and partake of it. Yeah? Anyway, let's continue. To show what Yeshayahu 35, 1 to 10. Yeshayahu 35 again. 1 to 10. Oh boy. Read, please.
The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose.
You see? The earth, what you call nature, is going to be happy to see the children of Yasharal. Why? Because they know that this is the beginning of restoration of righteousness upon the earth. The earth has senses. The earth knows when righteousness is upon it. So when the earth see the righteous people in the wilderness, the earth is going to be glad. Because spiritually, yeah, it shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice. Verse 2.
It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the splendor of Yahuwah and the excellency of our Eluah.
So guess what? The Most High is going to cause the desolate places to blossom and to bring forth fruit for his people. It shall blossom abundantly. Verse 3.
Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your Eluah will come with vengeance, even Eluah with a recompense. He will come and save you.
All right, and just like in the first Exodus, don't think it's going to be a smooth ride. All right? The enemy is going to come and he's going to try his thing. Because when they see this many people gathered together and moving, you know that all these wicked people in this world, governments who want total control and all of this, and seeing these people set apart, they're going to come at them. And the Most High says, he will come and save you. 5.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert.
So all of those people, because the desert, being in the wilderness, does not mean that you'll be perfected. There'll be people who are wanting, but in the desert is where perfection will occur. All right? Waters break out, and we know waters refer to the Ruach as well. Verse 7.
And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
Mm-hmm.
And an highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein.
And this matches Ezekiel 20, verse 38, when it says, he shall purge out from among them the rebels. That's it. The unclean shall not pass over it. Verse 9.
No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
All right. So in lion territory, the Most High says, no, the lion cannot be there. And the lion here, of course, can also be figurative. It can also be referring to those nations who will want to come and stop his people. Verse 10.
And the ransomed of Yahuwah shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
All right, so this is what we're saying. We're trying to show the difference. You see the wilderness? Yeah? You see the wilderness? We just want you to just rivet in your mind the wilderness. So when we come to the beginning of sorrows, you see the comparison. Yeah? You see the choice. And the fact that many people have no idea what will happen. Because in Isaiah 51, it tells you that the wilderness will become like Eden. Imagine that. So even though there might be, problems in the wilderness, we won't tell people that there will not be problems, because when the children of Yasharal were in the wilderness, there were problems. And that's why they were murmuring and all of that. But the Most High does things in a way in which he gives us the burdens and the problems to begin with. And then he takes the burden away from us when he feels that we have been perfected. Verse 3.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows.
Is it right? Yeah.
1 minute to pray.
Go ahead.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Hold on. Because this, I am not sure. Let me see. Is it Isaiah 51? No. 53, or is it 51? Here it is. It's 51. Sorry. Let me change this thing before, so that anyone watching it will not be misled. Oh, it's 51 and I said 53. It's my bad. It's 51 there. All right, go ahead.
For Yahuwah shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahuwah. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and mine arms shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust.
All right, hold on. Let me see. All right, verse 7.
Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my Torah. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revilings, their revelings. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation.
All right, let me see. All right, verse 11.
Therefore the redeemed of Yahuwah shall return, and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away.
All right, so you see all the promises for them who have gone through all of these things. It is nothing but joy. Okay? There's nothing but joy. And then let me get where I want. Verse 22. So we are in captivity, and the cup of trembling is in our hands. Verse 22.
Thus says thy Yahuwah, the Yahuwah and thy Eluah, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over.
So here is the thing now that's happening. He is going to lift up the cup of trembling from us, and he's going to put it upon those that afflict us. This is what's happening in the days of sorrow. He's going to take away all. Our time is up for our persecution. He's going to take it up off us and put it on them. So that is why in the days of sorrow, that is why it tells us rather to flee out of the midst of Babylon. Your time is up. Flee. Go into the wilderness. I will take care of you. Leave Babylon to me. But most of us say, no, we will not flee. All right? So we were looking at, what were we looking at? This. No. We were looking at Revelation 12:14 that says, woman shall fly into her place. So we want to look at what does it mean by the woman fleeing into her place, flying into her place. All right. So G5117, the place there in Revelation 12:14, it's from the Greek word topos, which means a spot, generally in space but limited by occupancy. Whereas G5561 is a larger but particular locality. That is location as a position, home, tract, etc. Figuratively, condition, opportunity. So what it is referring to, it is the woman will be taken into her place. It's a special place that the Most High is going to take the woman. Okay? So, which place are we speaking about? This is the true Psalm 91 place, people. It is a secret place. He that dwelleth in the secret place. Remember, it says you must take care that you are accounted worthy to escape, worthy to qualify to be in the secret place of the Most High. Read verse 1, please.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Eluah, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
All right, so let's go. He that dwelleth in the secret place. All right? The secret place of the Most High is going to be in his wilderness. When you obey and agree to set yourself apart, the Most High is going to take you into his pavilion and take you into the secret of his tabernacle. Yahuwah will be our refuge and our fortress, and we'll be able to trust in him. Then, when the days of sorrow, when the beginning of sorrow comes, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. This is the protection that is going to be given in the wilderness. We want you to hear this, and then you compare with what is coming in the days of sorrow, and let us know at the end if you really want to stay in this world. Verse 5.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Only with thine eyes. Continue.
Because thou hast made Yahuwah, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
So this in the wilderness could be referring to what happened to the children of Israel at the time when the Egyptians came after them and they saw the destruction of the Egyptians. Continue. Because we have what we have in this world, we have to understand now. Egypt is going to be the whole world. We have a new world order, a one world order. So it will be all the nations of the earth combining in the end time to be against Yasharal. And if we go to the Psalms 83, when it says they conspire to hide the name of Yasharal, that the name of Yasharal be no more named, because they know that as long as Yasharal rises up, yeah, and this wilderness thing is not going to be a stroll in the park. The world knows that if Yasharal rises up, then their time is up. So when they see us congregating together, they are not going to want to easily just allow it. Oh, let them congregate. Oh, they're going back to Yahuwah. Oh, let's leave them alone. No, they are not going to leave it like that. Just as in the days of Egypt, they are going to come and they are going to try to stop us. So because thou hast made Yahuwah, which is my refuge, even the Most High, we have made him our habitation. And the word habitation there means abode, tabernacle, all right? Retreat. So we dwell in Yahuwah. We give up our time in this world and we decide that we are resting and trusting in Yahuwah. We have made Yahuwah our habitation. We have said, all right, we can work and we can provide for ourselves. We can pay our bills. We have this and we have that. But you know what? We're going to give it up. And we are going to make Yahuwah our habitation. So when we make Yahuwah our habitation, this we make him our refuge and he will protect us. Continue. 10.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
All right, he shall give his angels charge over thee. Where did we find this in the first Exodus? The angels went before them with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. Huh? These angels were given charge. When he was speaking to Moshe, he said to tell the children of Yasharal that he's going to send this angel and they must make sure that they listen to him because he's not going to spare them because Yahuwah's name is upon him. So this, again, consistent with the wilderness. Verse 12.
They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet.
All right, so what did he say for us in the wilderness? He says, the wild beasts shall obey him. And he says that wild beasts cannot hurt you. This is The wilderness it's talking about. Very plain to me. I don't know about you. Verse 14.
Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
So, because we have set our love upon him, that is why he will deliver us. But he says, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. What is going to happen after we come out of the wilderness? Salvation in the land of Yasharal. This is the wilderness right here. The true Psalm 91 is speaking about the wilderness. So that was the wilderness. What we are going to look now, that was the good side of it, the good part. Notice is everything nice, mostly almost everything nice and wonderful. Anyway, let's go to Proverbs 14 before we leave this with another encouraging set of verses. Proverbs 14, 26 to 27. You see, all it takes for the wilderness is emunah. The people here have so many testimonies you cannot believe, of confirmation upon confirmation of the Most High, of this that we're doing. The testimonies, we couldn't give all of them. They are so many. Proverbs 14, 26.
In the fear of Yahuwah is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge.
In the fear of Yahuwah is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Into her place in the wilderness, that is the place of refuge where they are hidden away from the face of Satan. 27.
The fear of Yahuwah is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death.
A fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. So where are the snares of death? This is what we're going to look on right now. This is what we're going to look on right now. The days of sorrow, the beginning of sorrow. Those are the snares of death. So the fear of Yahuwah is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. So when you fear Yahuwah, you are going to do what he commands. When you fear Yahuwah, you're going to have wisdom. Wisdom is going to lead you to do whatever Yahuwah commands. That is how you'll depart from the snares of death. That is how you're going to say, all right, he says flee, showed me where to flee, let me flee there. So the snares of death that is coming in the beginning of sorrow will not touch us. So let us go and we look into the beginning of sorrow. Now there is an audio I want to play, because what we have here, Shamuel, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shamuel, there are some of our people here have been getting dreams about the time of confusion that is upon the face of the earth. So Shamuel also got his. So yours is gonna come up last, Shamuel.
All right. Okay, cool.
Amikai.
Shalom.
Amikai. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hearing me? Hearing me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing you. All right. You gave me a dream. You see the part of the dream, just the part of the dream that deals with you seeing the chaos.
The part where there was the tree man was sitting on the ground and showing me a projector on the ground.
Yeah.
It's some like a projector work, but it was facing on the ground, and it started out like somebody was selling food, and some people wanted food, but he was silent, and he didn't want to give any other food to them. And this fuss between him and an old man started, and there all the people come down and the person who was selling food and start fighting, beating him up, take away the food. And time I look, the video like change and the whole city in a chaos, them breaking in like supermarket, anywhere we have food, them breaking it and looting it.
I'm okay. Take your time and talk slowly, please, and try to talk English, because remember that's an international audience. So, yeah.
After the fighting at the stall, the food stall, it's like the video would change, like it would start changing, and you're seeing the store, the whole city then, and there was total chaos. They were just looting the supermarkets and the stores that had food. Anywhere that had food, it was just chaos.
Wow.
Just for food.
All right. Thank you very much. So that there is one account. Then we have another sister who contacted me and gave me this dream. I didn't ask them for these dreams. They just sent and asked me what do I think about it. So let me go here and start this dream that this sister sent to me.
Another dream.
Let me see how it's going. Oh,
It was raining.
coming through, but I'm not
very
hearing
hard.
it.
So in the dream,
Are you hearing it?
If I removed my window curtain.
I'm not hearing it.
When I looked outside, it was raining and raining very hard. It was raining. So somewhere in the dream now, someone took me a bag with corns. The corns seemed to be dried. So I took the corn and I said to the person that they are safe with me. But at the same time, my mind reflected on Joseph. So I said to myself that, we are going to need these corns. And so, it kept raining. People were dying. It was very chaotic. And, the people that were dying, it was not because of the rain. And then I heard the news anchor saying these words. These were the exact words that she spoke. 8 words. I wish there was something we could do. I awoke from my dream.
All right. I wish there was something we could do. That is chaos totally out of control. And notice both dreams spoke in reference to famine, want. Yeah? Want. So, while I was playing that dream today, because today I was setting this thing up so that the sound could go through. And while I was setting it up, I was playing this dream. And George said, look at what I'm reading. I'm reading about Joseph. The same thing that she's speaking about is what he was reading. Read the passage, please. Remember, it's speaking about the famine. It's speaking about Joseph in her dream.
I was listening to that dream, just eavesdropping because I was reading this book. But as soon as she mentioned Joseph, I read this paragraph. The Israelite migration started with Joseph, the 11th son of Jacob, around 1700 BCE. After being sold by his brothers, he ended up in Egypt as a slave. He later became the second most powerful man in the land after the Pharaoh, because he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream about the coming plenty and famine. And he also advised him on measures to take to safeguard his people.
All right. So Joseph and the famine and measures to safeguard his people. This is no coincidence. All right. This is the beginning of sorrows that is coming soon upon the earth. So the third person around us who had this dream was Shamuel. Shamuel was very, very, very vivid and very clear. So I let him give his account right now. Go ahead, Shamuel.
All right, can you hear me?
Is he there?
Yeah, network. Can you hear me? I'm here.
Oh, he's blank.
Can you hear me now?
I'm not hearing you, Shamuel. Wait, what's happening here?
Yeah, network.
Okay.
All right, but can you hear me though?
Yes.
All right, okay. Yeah, so we were meant to head to a place, all right, and I knew the place, and the place was like a destination, a meeting point, a place to meet Mashiach, the Messiah. And so we were in a bus, and something inside of me was saying, "We are running late. We are running late." And so I'm like, "Nah, the way this bus is moving, we are going to miss this meeting. We are going to miss Mashiach in this meeting place." So as we're going along the way, suddenly I just knew in my spirit, because I felt it's almost as if I was connected to the events that was happening in that meeting place. So I knew whether we're running late or we were on time. So in my spirit, I knew that they were gone. And I said, "Oh my goodness, they are gone." And that right instantly, the bus just takes a detour and we park there by like a field in a wilderness place. And as we parked there, we all got out of the bus, and suddenly there was chaos everywhere. People were shooting, everyone was shooting one another. Just there was no safe place anymore. And it was as if we were all told, because everyone on the earth heard the voice say that you have to survive through these times. If you don't survive through these times, it says that once you die, once you are killed, you're going straight to hell. So literally, there was no friendship, there was no family here on the earth. That means a father was killing his child or his spouse, whoever was close to them. Each and every one was killing one another. And in that instant, before that began, it was as if the Ruach was taken off the earth. The Holy Spirit was taken off the earth. And the moment that spirit left, we all knew that, nah, this is a time of danger. So I saw people shooting one another, and I decided, let me also run towards hiding in the bush. So as I was running, I saw this young child on the field, and this gentleman was about to shoot her. So I ran towards this child, and I think I dived to try and pick her up so we can somehow dodge the bullet together. So as I dived and I picked the child up, I heard the gunshot go off. Bah! And I just said in my head, I'm dead. I'm certainly dead. There's no way I'm missing this one. So the bullet literally grazed on my shin, all the way on my hand, and it was all happening in slow-mo. And the bullet went right past my cheek and over the sockets of my eye. So I fell down, and I'm like, no, we have to run. And we started running. We ran out of the place, but pretty much it was chaos everywhere. There was no safe haven in any place. Nowhere was safe. There were people wearing suits and ties who had bags of money, and they couldn't believe how useless all had become. They just couldn't believe that they have been lied so much that all of this really doesn't matter. And they stood there looking at all this wealth and all these funds, and it all was just meaningless. And people were just killing and killing. I mean, it was more than a horror movie, the way we were butchering one another there. So that's a sum of it. That's a summary of the whole dream. That the moment we all failed to meet Mashiach in that spot, the chaos just broke out, because where we were going was the only safe haven. There was no other place, and that was it. And that's how I woke up from the dream.
All right. So what we have here Let me get it going. Let me get myself pinned. All right. So what we have here is there was only one meeting place. And because the meeting place was missed, then they were there in the world. What happened is what has been prophesied, and we're going to show these prophecies. These dreams, all of these dreams match up perfectly with prophecies of what are coming. And the reason that this chaos has happened is that the Ruach of the Most High will be taken away from the world. The restrainer will stop restraining. Remember, 2 weeks ago, the last teaching we did, it was there will be a famine of the word. There's going to be a famine of the word, and then the Ruach is going to be taken away. When the Ruach is taken away, Mastema is going to unleash his forces, all the evil Ruach that you can think about. The evil spirits that you can think about, all are going to be unleashed in the earth, and there is no good that is going to be left in man, and mankind is just going to go and do nothing but wicked. Family, man fighting neighbor, everybody just turn, and the very next person they see, they're just killing wantonly. All right? We just spoke to you about the wilderness. We are telling you what is going to come. And lest you think that we are rumor mongers, let's begin with the book of 2nd Baruch 70, the dream of Baruch as to the end time. 2nd Baruch 70, verse 1. Well, Shamuel.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, your background sounds better now. Can you read for us, please?
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Therefore, hear the exposition of the last black waters, which will come after the black waters. This is the word. Behold, the days are coming, and it will happen when the time of the world has ripened, or
Ripened.
am I right?
Ripened.
Has ripened, and the harvest of the seed of the evil ones, and the
Tov.
and the 12 ones has come, that Yahuwah, the mighty one, will cause to come over the earth and its inhabitants, and its rivers, confusion of the ruach and amazement of the heart. And they will hate one another and provoke one another to fight.
All right, so this is what we're dealing with here. This is what all three dreams are about. It says Yahuwah will cause to come over the earth and its inhabitants and its rulers, confusion of the ruach, confusion of the spirit. So the whole entire spirit will be confused because the ruach will be taken away from the earth. And that is why I've witnessed here to people several times and told you that one time the Most High took away the ruach from me for just a very short time to let me experience what it is about. And I tell you, it was confusion. I felt confusion. Reading the word and cannot understand the word and confused, not knowing what to do. Started sweating. Yeah? Just for a little time. So when the ruach is taken away, all mankind, just think about it. The whole world going through confusion. And it says, and amazement of the heart. Because what they are going to see is going to be so shocking. Everybody's going to be, I can't believe it. Yeah? It's going to be unbelievable. And they will hate one another. And not only hate one another and see each other, they are going to go out and provoke one another to fight. What am I doing in an environment like this when the Most High gave me an opportunity to leave it? At least I can understand. People so love their lives in this world. And he told us, warned us, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. That we are willing to go through this. We just told you the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. And then look at the choice. Hear the choice. Continue, please. Continue, please.
All right. and the despised. And the despised will rule over the honorable, and the unworthy will raise themselves over
Wow. All
over the
right.
strong. The poor
Okay.
will be greater in number than the rich. And the priests and than the rich, and the impious will exalt themselves over the brave.
Where are we? And the impious.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just coming through.
Yeah.
The thing is not so good. And it's blurred as well. Whoa. We might have to come back to this location. Let us try again though. Where were we? The impious will exalt themselves over the brave. All right, continue. Let's see how it works out.
Okay. All right.
The wise will be silent, verse 5.
The wise will be silent, and the foolish will speak, and the thought of men will not be realized then, nor the counsel of the strong, and the hope of those of those.
All right. All right, Shamuel.
When those things occur which have been said before,
it's cutting off. It's not going through. The thing is too bad. Oh boy. We let George read.
all right.
Yeah. Where were we? Verse 5.
The wise will be silent, and the foolish will speak. And the thought of men will not be realized then, nor the counsel of the strong, and the hope of those who hope will not be realized. Then it will happen when those things occur which have been said before will come to pass, that confusion will fall upon all men, and some of them will fall in war, and others will perish in tribulations, and again others of them will be troubled by their own.
Okay, so war is also going to be there. And this, of course, we're going to read Matthew 24 and see it's the same thing that it says. It says, nations shall fight against nations, that is ethnos or ethnicities against ethnicities, that is local people against local people, and kingdoms shall fight against kingdoms, that is nations against nations. All right? So others will perish in tribulations, and again, others of them will be troubled by their own. Verse 7.
Yahuwah, the Most High, will then give a sign to those nations which he has prepared before, and they will come and wage war with the rulers who will then remain.
Mm-hmm.
And it will happen that everyone who saves himself from the war will die in an earthquake, and he who saves himself from the earthquake will be burned by fire, and he who saves himself from the fire will perish by famine.
Continue.
Can you scroll it up a little bit?
All right, I will have to read it. You can't go up anymore.
Oh, hang on, get the last one. And it will happen that everyone who will deliver himself and escape from all things which have been said before, both those who have won and those who have been overcome, that all will be delivered into the hands of my servant, the Anointed One.
For the whole earth will devour its inhabitants. So all of these people, even when they escape from all that is happening, when Hamashiach comes, they're not going to escape from him. So you see what's going to happen? It's going to be a horrible thing on the earth, and people are going to try to be saving their lives. And even when they save their lives, then they have Hamashiach to face. All right? As we said, we're just making the comparison. Please make the comparison and let us see. Matthew 24, 3-8, to show you what we just said, to see that it is not fictitious, but Matthew says it in another way. Matthew 24, 3-8. Let me get this thing going. Go ahead, please.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives,
My bad. Matthew 24, 3-8. Yeah, go ahead.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
All right. So remember the dreams? The first two dreams were about famine. All right? And we have pestilences every day. You hear about a new variant, a new this, a new disease. Pestilences and earthquakes. We have earthquakes now today like we have never had in the history of mankind. All right? So nation shall fight against nation, ethnos against ethnos, ethnicities against ethnicities. So this is going to be fighting in local areas as Samuel described. And the kingdom against kingdom, this is what we call countries today against countries. And it says, verse 8.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
So, just imagine now, what Samuel just told us a while ago is just the beginning of sorrows. Let's think about it. Just think about it. Just the beginning of sorrows. So let's go to 2 Ezra 13, 29-50 to get a greater account. 29-50. Read, please.
Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another.
All right, hold on. You see how many different, this is now the third set of scriptures that's saying the same thing. Yeah? This is coming up right on the radar, people. That is why you see the Russian war and you see NATO not backing down, seem to be pushing the fire, and Russia not backing down. Yeah? The war to kick off a nuclear war, that is what they are stirring up. Continue. And one shall
undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Mm-hmm.
And when all the people hear his voice, every man in their own land leave the battle they have one against another.
So this is going to be such a long fight. Yeah? They are going to be fighting one another. And when Hamashiach comes, they are going to stop fighting one another and turn to fight Hamashiach. Verse 34.
And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
Fallen into the tempest. This is the tempest that we're reading, the days of sorrow. 38.
And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the Torah, which is like unto me. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, these are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
All right. So here is somebody that asked me a question on the video. This is why we're telling you that the physical seed matters. Here it's telling you how the 10 tribes will be gathered. It's not about nobody doesn't matter, all of that. It is Yasharal. Salvation is to Yasharal. These are the 10 tribes. From the days of Hosea the king, which is about 720 something BC, they were scattered. They are now going to be gathered when Hamashiach returns. He's coming back for his people. The fact that Gentiles are allowed to be one in the Ruach does not mean that they replace the promises for him to come for his people, because then that would make him a liar. He would be a liar because he promised so many prophecies that he's going to come and redeem his people. And then all of a sudden, here comes Apostle Shaul and says, neither Jew nor Gentiles. And all of a sudden, all of the prophecies are scrapped. It takes a really silly person to believe something like that. Anyway, go ahead.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river.
All right. So, a lot of people like to speak about, like the Hebrew Israelites with their 12 tribes chart, speak about the last 10 tribes being in America. Not saying that they are not, but they totally ignore the land that they call Africa. Because these people here who are returning, they are not returning by any airplane or anything. They will be walking. Yeah? That means wherever they are able to walk from where they are back to the promised land. Yeah? They entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. Verse 44.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
All right. So the Most High showed signs for them. What does it mean? He didn't send any angel. He showed them signs. And then he held still the flood till they passed over. So the signs were for them to know where they should go. Simple. Verse 45.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
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 It is not far-fetched to think that all of this can take place in the continent called Africa. Verse 46.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come.
Mm-hmm.
The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace.
Continue.
But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders.
So it's not far-fetched to think that this Exodus will include these 10 tribes, along with those people who are brought there, the sons that are brought from afar. And that journey is where they will go back into the promised land. Because it says, but those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. So those that be left behind are of the house of Judah. This is speaking about Judah and the 10 tribes. So those that be of Judah are those that are left within my borders. That means there are still some from the house of Judah who are still living in the same land. All right? Verse 49.
Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. And then shall he show them great wonders.
And then shall he show them great wonders. All right, so let's get some more of Second Ezra 16. This is more into what is going to be happening in the end. Second Ezra 16. Go, please.
This one.
Yeah.
Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent upon you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?
All right, so who is this? Babylon and Asia. And we know Babylon encompasses the whole entire earth today. Yeah? He's going to send a sword, which is war. He's going to send fire. He's going to send plagues. And nobody can stop them. Verse 6.
May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Yahuwah sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid?
He shall cast lightnings. Remember this from this morning.
Yeah.
And who shall not fear? Now we got a sketch with that this morning, with the evidence, with the testimony from this morning. Verse 11.
Yahuwah shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before Yahuwah, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
People, are you hearing this? These are those who choose to remain in Babylon. These are what you will have to actually face and partake of. Is it worth it? So actually, because many are staying in Babylon because they want to maintain their current life. Yeah? They don't want to give up on their current life. So is it worth it to maintain your current life for a few, months, weeks, years? Is it worth it? I won't even probably don't even think years, because of the many things that have come to us and being shown unto us that we don't even speak here. Why we know what time it is. Is it worth it? That's what we have to ask ourselves. So let us continue. I'll tell you when to go. All right, go ahead now.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me! Woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
Oh boy.
The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Ah.
Oh.
Wow. And there is, I forgot. You can find it, the Apocalypse of Abraham, and find the 10 things that are coming up on the earth. And there is also in the book of, I forgot all of these. There's also in the book of Second Baruch, is it Second Baruch, that speaks about the 12 things that are coming upon the earth and how one will meet the other. See if you can find it in the meantime, please. Yeah, continue.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
All right, so we have the dreams about famine. We have plagues going on. Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges. Verse 20.
But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Can you imagine that? Will not turn away from the wickedness.
Stubborn.
Yeah, 21.
Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
So this is how dangerous it's going to be. When you escape from one thing, another thing is coming upon you. No rest. 23.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
So this goes back to Adam. When Adam was created, and it says, and there was no man to till the ground before it was created. All right. Verse 26.
The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
Ah. So this is what you're staying in Babylon for. Let's think about it. All places shall be desolate of men. Verse 27.
So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice.
Hey.
Lonely.
You see what's gonna... I want you to fathom this because we get them in movies. Yeah? You are a survivor. Somehow you have survived. And then you wish you would see a man. You walk for hours, you can't see a man. Days. Huh?
I Am Legend, Will Smith.
Oh, I Am Legend, though I never watched it. Oh, Will Smith alone left in the city. Yeah, they depict these things in the movies. Continue, 28.
For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks, as in an orchard of olives.
Oh, hold. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field. That's a little bit of people. We have cities like millions of people, 10 million, 12 million. If you have a city of 1 million now, it is a small city. Yeah? Only 10 left. 29.
As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough.
Continue.
The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of Yahuwah. Behold, the word of Yahuwah, receive it, believe not the gods of whom Yahuwah spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it
On every side. Every side, every angle you look. So then when we refuse to say, all right, we're going into the wilderness, this is what we are rejecting. This is what we are accepting, rather. This is what we want. Yeah. Verse 40.
O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Be as pilgrims upon the earth. So this is telling us now, give up on that place, you see, and leave that place. Be willing to leave it. Verse 41 says,
He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose.
all right, so if you have a selling, you have a business. Yeah? Flee away. Continue.
He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein.
In other words, whatever you are doing, forget it. Whatever business you have, whatever job you have, forget it.
Time's up.
Time's up. 43.
He that soweth, as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain.
Oh boy. Say that one again.
And therefore they that labor in vain.
Because
the strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children.
oh boy. Is it worth it? Overthrow their houses and take their children captives. Aye, this is so sad. Oh boy. 47.
And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, says Yahuwah.
No one to look at this.
Wow.
Those who have businesses and are, what should I say, cheating people through their business. And this is most business today. Most businesses. In Babylon, through advertising, etc., it is kind of robbery that you get people. Because with business, you have deceptive advertisement. Look at when we went to buy the thing the other day from the phone company. Even though we don't have good service at all, and with the advertising and everything, even when we came, they didn't tell us the amount of minutes that you got per day to show the breakdown.
Misrepresented it.
Yeah, they just said, all right, 20 gig, and you feel like 20 gig. Then after that, you ask them, oh,
There's only 5, really.
only 5. You know what I mean? So it says the more they deck their cities, so the more you have these wicked, evil businesses, and people deck their business, their house, and their possession, and even their own persons, Mosiah says the more will be angry with them. So if we do not reject and ignore all of these riches, Mosiah is going to be angry and angry at us. Continue.
Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall the righteousness hate iniquity, when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her face to face, when he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searches out every sin upon earth.
So this is it. You have any of them?
First Baruch 4:18.
First Baruch. Verse 18. No, this isn't the one I want. there is one that speaks about the 12 things, and one shall. Oh, we saw it the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I just realized that there are many more that I could have. Second Baruch 27. Oh, yeah. Let me see it. All right, this looks like it. But on this it's gonna be so small. What you said, 227. I have Second Baruch 2. All right, let me get this. Second Baruch 227. Book of Second Baruch. Manana. Second Baruch 1. Oh, this isn't it. Second Baruch 27. Let me try 27. Oh, yes, here it is. Read from verse 1.
And Yahuwah answered and said to me, that time will be divided into 12 parts, and each part has been preserved for that for which it was appointed.
Okay, hold on. So go to find Apocalypse of Abraham. It speaks about 10 that are coming upon the earth. All right. So this is Second Baruch and telling 12 different things that's going to happen. Verse 2.
In the first part, the beginning of commotions.
So this is the beginning of sorrow. This is what Shamuel and the other two dreams, Amakai, Gillian's dream, were about. The beginning of commotion. That was just the beginning that we heard. Continue.
In the second part, the slaughtering of the great.
Continue.
In the third part, the fall of many into death.
So when you stay in Babylon, these are all of the things that are going to be around you. If you believe that it's not going to touch you, you are going to be living in a horror movie. If you love horror movies, then you can remain. But if, like me, you don't like horror movies, then run, flee. Because it's going to be a horrible, horrible, horrible experience. Continue.
In the fourth part, the drawing of the sword.
In the fifth?
In the fifth part, famine and the withholding of rain.
So what it's going to tell you in the end, that all of these things will not happen in the order that you see it. They're going to be mixed up and blended with each other. Continue.
In the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors.
Mm-hmm.
In the eighth part, there's no seventh part there. In the eighth part, a multitude of ghosts and the appearances of demons.
So this is the one that I want to get now. A multitude of ghosts and the appearances of demons. When the Messiah takes away his ruach, what do you think, or who do you think is going to take over? All the evil ruachot, all the evil spirits upon the earth are going to be free to do what they want to do. So imagine living in an existence where a multitude of ghosts and demons are thriving and running things. So you are there and saying, okay, I want to remain in Babylon. These are the things that you're going to stay in. Verse 9.
Can I just ask a question there?
Yeah.
Between the sixth and the eighth part, is seventh left out because of the Shabbat? Or is that just a typing error?
I don't know at all. I don't know. I don't know if it's in the Sefer.
The seventh is just one thing. They have it in the Sefer.
Oh, it's in the Sefer, one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
All right.
In the ninth part.
In the ninth part, the fall of fire.
Continue.
In the 10th part, rape and much violence.
Wow. In the 11th.
In the 11th part, injustice and unchastity.
Mm-hmm.
In the 12th part, disorder and a mixture of all that has been before.
Continue.
These parts of that time will be preserved and will be mixed one with another, and they will minister to each other. For some of these parts will withhold a part of themselves and take from others, and will accomplish that which belongs to them and to others. Hence, those who live on the earth in
those days
I can't see the last
will
slide.
not understand that it is the end of times. Those who live on earth in those days will not understand that it is the end of times. So we see all the horrors here. All the horrors that are slated to come upon the earth. And the Most High says, okay, I'm going to help you. I am going to make sure you have the opportunity to flee and avoid all of this. And most of the world says, no, we do not want it. Haven't you found it as yet?
Page 52.
Apocalypse of Abraham.
Yeah.
All right.
The punishment of the leader.
All right. So let me get it from here. Apocalypse.
Yeah. 53.
Apocalypse of Abraham.
Punishment of the leader.
All right, let me get it here. Where it says this?
52.
Oh, but I wouldn't know. Tell me some of the words.
The title is The Punishment of the Leader in the Ingathering of Israel.
Wow, it's hard to find it on this. All right, let me have what you have. You got it?
And on the next page, you can
All right, the punishment of the heathen and gathering of Yasharal. Okay. Oh boy, I don't see it here. You got it?
If you go on this page, you will see it.
All right.
60.
All right, so yeah, Apocalypse of Abraham. I realized that the other things that I had to do because of the break last week, I didn't realize that I didn't put it together properly in the last part. So that is why we're having this. All right, and he said to me, what is desired in thine heart, I will show thee, tell thee, because thou hast sought to see the 10 plagues which I have prepared for the heathen, and have prepared beforehand at the passing over of the 12th hour of the earth. Hear what I divulge to thee, so shall it come to pass. The first is pain of great distress. The second, conflagration of many cities, which is the burning of many cities. The third, destruction and pestilence of animals. The fourth, hunger of the whole world and of its people. The fifth, by destruction among its rulers. destruction by earthquake, and the sword. The sixth, multiplication of hail and snow. The seventh, the wild beasts will be their grave. The eighth, hunger and pestilence will alternate with their destruction. The ninth, punishment by the sword and flight in distress. The 10th, thunder and voices and destructive earthquake. And the voices there, of course, speaks to the evil ruach, evil spirits. So, yeah, this is what we have for today. Kind of happy that it's not longer because the throat here giving problems. Anyway, so that's what we have. The choice. What a choice. The wilderness versus the beginning of sorrow. What do you choose? Chaos, confusion, wickedness, evil, all the greatest evils that you can think of concentrated at one time, mixed up. And we heard in the dreams the beginning of sorrow, how it will all begin with the Most High taking away his ruach, and then all hell breaking loose on earth. And then we heard in the beginning about the wilderness. We heard about the protection of the Most High, the secret place in which he will take us through. And he will take us through the danger, but we will be protected from the danger. All right? No such assurance for those of us who remain in Babylon. What kind of assurance he gives to those of us who remain in Babylon? The only assurance I see that we get from remaining in Babylon are the assurances that people take away from those who obey Yahuwah to go in the wilderness. Most of the assurances that they are taking to stay in Babylon are those that are for the people who stay in the wilderness. Yeah? So they are borrowed assurances. The assurances are for those who obey him to flee out of the midst of Babylon. All right? So that is what I have for today. And I want to ask Shamuel, he has been quiet all day. Hopefully the internet will hold up so he can give us his thoughts on this. All right?
Yeah, shalom.
Yeah, shalom.
Wow. So much terrifying as well as good stuff. And I am praying that somehow we can hear this one. But I think the point at which we are now, it's been too many loving and merciful messages for people to do the right thing. And right now, as you can see, the word is becoming burdensome to other people that they cannot move anymore.
Yes.
It's because we didn't act on the first one. And many have also gotten used to hearing the word over and over again, and so it actually now means nothing to them. They just come and just partake of the word here, and and then they go back. But we've seen all the things that are coming, and I wish I could say one word that will really cause all of us to believe what is being said here. It is the time. Now is the time. The door of the ark is being closed, and now is the time. If you don't get out, you can't blame anyone. Had I known, is not a saying of a wise person. So please, brothers and sisters, you know what to do. If you trust Yahuwah with all your heart, now will be the time to linger on his words, all right? And that's all I would say. Trying to keep my words very simple. Everything is being said. Don't wait for all these pestilence and earthquakes and all these things to come and devour you, because it will not be announced. You will not get a countdown. It will just happen suddenly. When they say peace, 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 suddenly would it happen? And from what Yah showed me, it is around the corner. All right, it is around the corner. So please, family, do the right thing and be safe in the Most High Yah. Shalom.
Shalom. And as you speak, the dreams that I've been getting in the past few nights are actually about me weeping, about 2 or 3 of them, about me weeping for people who are in blindness, weeping for people who cannot see. Because as we said before, the door is being shut. The door of the ark is being shut. If you check the prices of the tickets now, compared to how they were before, they're shot all the way up. And the more it gets closer, the more it gets closer to their Christmas. Oh, it's noisy. Yeah. The more it gets closer to their Christmas, it is the higher the cost of the tickets will be. Yeah. So imagine for a family of 3, about 6,000 to 7,000 pounds. Let's think about that now. That's what we saw. So probably you might can get it less or somehow, but we are telling you that it is getting tougher and tougher as the days go by. Tougher and tougher. And of course, the Most High will not leave the door open forever. All right? So, yeah, that's what we have to say. And I guess we'll continue on Just the Word Radio. But for YouTube, we will make an exit right now. And want to thank you all for watching. Please like, share, comment on this. And like if you like. All right? Just get the message. The message is, what is your choice? Which do you choose? The wilderness or to stay in Babylon and they partake of the days of sorrow, the great days of the great tribulation. It is your choice. Which do you choose? All right? Kazaf Eliyahu here. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom. Are we off? This thing is stuck.